Hello friends, today we'll study the tax invoice bill in the context of financial planning. We will learn about the new terms used in tax invoice and understand their meanings. Dear students, during our school years, we often go out with our parents, grandparents or elder siblings, sometimes to buy stationery, sometimes to the vegetable market, sweet shop, railway station, attending a children's play or traveling outside the city. After purchasing something, we are given a bill. Usually, we do not pay much attention to this bill or its details. However, today, after understanding what a tax invoice is, we'll be able to read any tax invoice and clearly understand the information written on it. Learning this is an important part of financial literacy. What is a tax invoice? A tax invoice is a bill or receipt that clearly specifies the tax charged on the sale of goods or services. In the GST tax system, the tax invoice is a crucial document. Now let us look at the importance of a tax invoice. First, legal mandate. Issuing a tax invoice is a legal requirement. It must be provided when selling taxable goods or services to ensure compliance with tax regulations. Second, for ITC, that is, input tax credit. A tax invoice serves as essential proof for the buyer to claim credit for the tax paid on goods or services purchased. Third, for business records and audit. A tax invoice is essential for maintaining accurate records of sales and taxes, supporting proper bookkeeping and facilitating audits. Fourth, we will study two formats of tax invoice. A. Tax invoice for the purchase of goods and B. Tax invoice for the provision of services. The tax invoice for the purchase of goods and the tax invoice for provision of services contain the following information. First, name, address and GSTIN of the seller. Second, name, address and GSTIN of buyer if applicable. Third, tax invoice number and date. Fourth, description of the goods or services including quantity, price, HSN or SSE code. Fifth, applicable tax rate and amounts CGST, SGST and IGST. Sixth, total invoice value including tax. Seventh, signature or authorized stamp of the seller. In a bill, the customer must be able to identify the items purchased and their respective prices. The bill should also include an address of the shopkeeper's name and address as along with the date of purchase. Additionally, it must clearly state the amount of tax collected on the items, which is essential for the shopkeeper's record and is required by the government for tax compliance. In the tax invoice for the purchase of goods and the tax invoice for the provision of services, you will come across new terms such as GSTIN, that is GST Identification Number, CGST, that is Central Goods and Services Tax, SGST, that is State Goods and Services Tax, HSN code, that is Harmonized System of Nomenclature, and SAC, that is Service Accounting Code. Introduction to GSTIN. Let us first understand GSTIN. GSTIN is the identification number of a trader. It is mandatory for traders whose turnover in the previous financial year exceeds 20 lakhs to obtain this number. GSTIN consists of 15 alphanumeric characters, that is, alphabets and numerals. The trader's 10-character alphanumeric PAN is embedded within these 15 characters. Students, let's now identify and understand the 15 alphanumeric characters in the GSTIN. Purchase of goods, GSTIN. Provision of service, GSTIN. First, trader shopkeeper GSTIN. 27. ABCDE 1234 HIZ5. Mahavitaran Service, Maharashtra State Electricity Distribution Company Limited, MSEDCL 27 AAECM 2933K1ZP. Second, Metal Items Shopkeeper 27 AABBC 5134 BIZA. Railway Transport Service 27 AAAGM 029C2ZI. What is common among all GSTINs mentioned above? In other words, which number or letter appears in every GSTIN? Dear students, the number 27 and the letter Z are common in the above purchases of goods and services provided. Trader. Numbers 8, letter 7, total 15 alphanumeric characters. Mahavitaran Services. Numbers 7, letters 8, total 15 alphanumeric characters. 27 is the Maharashtra state code. It indicates that the trader's GST registration has been done in Maharashtra. The letter Z is common to all GSTINs. HSN code. In the tax invoice for the purchase of goods, the HSN code is the specific classification number assigned to the item. This code is determined by the trader or shopkeeper. SAC code. SAC stands for Service Accounting Code. It is the specific classification number used for services in a tax invoice for the provision of services. Whether it is a tax invoice for the purchase of goods or tax invoice for the services provided, the most important terms are CGST, that is Central Goods and Services Tax. This tax is collected and deposited with the central government. SGST, that is State Goods and Service Tax. This tax is collected and deposited with the state government. Now, dear students, let's study the tax invoice for the purchase of goods. Supplier A to Z Sweet Mart. GST number 27 ABCDE 1234 HIZ5. Address Shivaji Rasta, Kolhapur. Invoice date 31st July 2022. Mobile number 98765 43210. Invoice number GST/110. Serial number, HSN code, name of product, rate, quantity, taxable amount, CGST, SGST and total. First, HSN code 4041, name of product Pedhe, at the rate of 400 rupees per kilogram, quantity 500 grams. Taxable amount is 200 rupees, on which CGST at 2.5% rate, tax applicable 5 rupees, SGST at 2.5% rate, tax applicable is 5 rupees, total 210 rupees. Fifth, HSN code 706, name of the product chocolate, rate 80 rupees, quantity 1 bar, taxable amount 80 rupees, CGST rate 14%, tax amount 11 rupees 20 paisa, SGST rate 14%, tax amount 11 rupees 20 paisa, total 102 rupees 40 paisa. All the terms we have studied are visible in this invoice. Tax invoice. The shop's name, address, date, and mobile number are mentioned. The most important detail, the GSTIN, that is Goods and Services Tax Identification Number, is also provided along with the tax invoice number. The HSN code, that is Harmonized System of Nomenclature, for each item is clearly stated. The central and state tax rates charged on each item are equal. These tax rates are fixed by the government. The rates vary for different goods such as 0%, 5%, 12%, 18%, and 28%. What did we learn? We learned the meaning and importance of a tax invoice. We studied two types of tax invoice. First, tax invoice for the purchase of goods, and second, tax invoice for the provision of services. We explored the key information present in a tax invoice, including GSTIN, CGST, and SGST. We understood that the government fixes the tax rate for every commodity. GST comprises two components. GST equals to CGST plus SGST. A GSTIN consists of 15 alphanumeric characters. The goods and service tax rate on essential commodities is 0%. Exercise. Choose the correct option for the following questions. First question. GSTIN has a total of how many alphanumeric characters? Option A 15, option B 10, option C 16, and option D 9. Second question. In intra-state trade, the central government levies which tax? Option A IGST, option B CGST, option C SGST, or option D UTGST. Third question. The rate of goods and service tax on steel utensils is 18%. The rate of state goods and service tax, that is SGST, levied on them is option A 18%, option B 10%, option C 16%, and option D 9%. Activity. Prepare a list of at least 10 goods and services that you require. Create a tax invoice for them and find out the applicable GST rates. Verify your findings with your friends.